Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So it's been a while since I recorded a video for Teamfight Tactics. I kind of burned out on set 5, in particular set 5.5. I've talked a bit about why I think that set 5 basically didn't really work. It was kind of a failure, and if you're interested in more info on that, I have an article on my website, and I think I recorded a video on that to some extent. So I have not been playing set 5, but set 6 is about to come out. This is footage recorded from the PBE, the public beta environment. So we're going to take a look here at set 6, an early look at this particular set, and take a look at what's in store in this new set. So set 6 is called Gizmos and Gadgets. It's kind of a weird name for the set. I don't think it particularly rolls off the tongue or anything like that. Maybe should have workshopped that name a little bit more, but in any case, it is a new set. And it looks pretty promising in terms of the gameplay. I've had a little time to fool around with it, played maybe half a dozen games on the PBE, and overall, I like what I've seen thus far. One of my criticisms of set 5.5 is that Riot just basically abandoned set 5.5 to work on set 6. And while that made set 5.5 a lot worse, it does mean that set 6 looks like it's going to be a bit better. So we're going to talk a little bit more as this video goes on about the main new gameplay feature here in set 6. And you'll note that the video cuts out here for about 10 seconds. I can promise the footage will be back in just a second or two. Apparently, I alt-tabbed out of the screen for like a minute to look at something, and apparently the video cut out when I did that. So apologies for that. There are still no replays in Teamfight Tactics. All right, here is the new set feature. The augments, hextech augments. So you get a choice of 3 hextech augments, and this will occur 3 different times throughout the game. Now you'll see a little gear on the left-hand side pop up. That will display what augment I have chosen. So the way the augments work is, unfortunately, the footage cuts out here. Boy, if I'd known that this was going to happen, I would not have alt-tabbed out throughout this game. Again, apologies for this. This was me looking at another screen, and apparently the footage did not record while I was doing that. So like I said, apologies for that. But the main gameplay mechanic here in set 6 is these hextech augments. So everyone gets one of these on stage 1-4, and then they get a choice of another one a little bit later on in the game. I don't know the exact stage. The second one comes in stage 3. I think it's 3-6 or 3-7, and then the last one comes in stage 4. So the timing of these is pretty interesting. Like, it's early enough that you can pivot into different comps based on what you're seeing, but it's also like not so late that it's not, the choice is not still meaningful. So I think that the timing is pretty good as far as what you get. I have gone ahead and taken an augment. The name is escaping me. It was on the screen earlier. But the augment that I've taken gives me extra AD and AP for every trait that I have in play. I think it's called Stand United, something like that. And it's 4 AD and 4 AP for each trait that I have in there. So it's something that's relatively weak in the early game, but it scales well as the game goes on and as you put more traits in. So it's a little bit more of a long-term thing that I'd want to be playing. And again, I apologize for the fact that I was apparently alt-tabbing out throughout the game to look at some other references for set 6. I have the cheat sheet on the screen, and because this is a laptop, I don't have a second monitor here. But I have a cheat sheet that I keep looking at because I don't know all the traits and I don't know all the champs. And I had that to remind me of what I'm playing with. So yeah, my augment specifically will give me more AD and AP as the game goes on. And there's a whole bunch of these different augments. There are, I think there's like almost 100 of them, classified into different tiers. They have a silver tier, a gold tier, and then a like prismatic tier. I have no idea whether or not gold, silver, bronze. That would seem like it would make more sense. But they're like gold, they're silver, gold, and prismatic. Like I said, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this is the lowest tier. This is the silver tier. But everybody gets an augment from the same tier. And I believe that I try to highlight what some of the different augments are as the game goes on. Anyway, I lost that initial round. And wow, I did not realize I had done this much alt-tabbing during the game. Well, it's the footage I have, unfortunately. Just got to use the footage that I have because there are no replays, despite the fact that we were promised that we would have replays for set 6. But they're still not here, which is not surprising. But anyway, so everybody has these different augments, and I'm going to make do with mine, which hopefully will scale throughout the game. Some of them will give you an additional trait. So, for example, the one that the other person is running, Socialite Heart, gives them an extra, counts as an extra Socialite for the team. That's one of the traits here. And I'll try to talk more about what some of these traits do as the game goes on. I should talk about the traits that I'm running here first. And the core one that I'm using in this game is Arcanist. That's the one that is listed first and can be played with 2, 4, 6, or 8 level of champs. And I'm just running 2 Arcanist right now. I really like this trait because this trait is basically Dusk from set 4. And those who might remember set 4 might know that I played an awful lot of Dusk. So what this trait does is increases the ability power of your team. At 2 Arcanist, your team gains 20% ability power. Wow, it's exactly the same thing that Dusk 2 did. And then similarly at Arcanist 4, the team gains 20% ability power, Arcanists gain 45%, and then so on and so forth. There's more ability power for the team as you put more in the trait, and then Arcanists also get more, just the same way that Dusk functioned. Here, you can see I now have, or no, never mind, that was highlighting the other person's team. I had checked on their screen, and they have an extra Socialite trait in play, which they wouldn't have in play at all because they don't have any Socialite units in there right now. But Arcanist is the main trait. That's the main trait I'm going to be looking to play through in this game. One difference from Dusk is Dusk had a lot of tanky champions and like more utility champions. Arcanist is pretty much spellcasters. It's almost entirely spellcasters. So it's a little bit closer to like a mage's setup from other games. Or from other sets, excuse me. Well, anyway, some things are still the same as they were in Teamfight Tactics. I have the chance to pick from a carousel, and I am trying to build through the Arcanist trait. I'm going to try to play towards Arcanist's main carry, which is Lux, and I decide that I'm going to go ahead and take this Brawler's Glove, because that'll allow me to make a Jeweled Gauntlet, and I figure that'll allow for either, if I get more rods, maybe I can build Death Cap. If I get another sword, then maybe I can turn it into Infinity Edge and pair that with Jeweled Gauntlet. But this item will have a decent amount of utility, so I think I'll be able to play that. I have this on Twisted Fate right now. TF is still the same as he's been in like every set. He's a 1-cost unit, and he throws wild cards when his mana bar fills up. I have the item on TF because he is going to come out of the comp. He'll be replaced by better Arcanist units later on in the game. The other option, the other Arcanist I'm playing is Malzahar, but Malz I plan to be in the comp long term, so I didn't want to put the item on him because I don't want to have to sell him to move the item over to Jinx later on in this game. Other traits I have in play, I have 2 tanky traits. One is Protector. Protector units gain a shield every time they use their ultimate. There's not that many Protector units, and the interesting thing about them is the way that the trait scales. It's a 2, 3, 4, 5 trait, so every time you put in an additional Protector unit, you gain an additional rank in the trait. At Protector 2 right now, Protector 2 provides a 20% maximum health shield. Protectors shield themselves for 6 seconds when they cast an ability, and the shield does not stack. So right now it's 20% maximum health shield at Protector 2, and then it goes 35%, 45%, 60% as you rank up in the trait. All the Protector units are pretty much tanky champs, so with the potential exception of Cassidy, who's not a particularly tanky champion, but I'm getting this from Blitzcrank and I'm getting this from Garen right now. The other traits I'm playing, Bodyguard is basically your Vanguard or your Warden. It provides armor, and it also has an additional function. The Bodyguard units taunt enemy units that are right next to them at the start of the fight. So like Garen and Blitzcrank will taunt the units near them. Or wait, no, Blitz is he, I'm trying to remember, is he a Bodyguard unit as well? What is Blitz? I'm still learning these traits, and again, that's why you see me keep tabbing out of the screen periodically. Yeah, Blitz is Bodyguard Protector. Garen is Protector Academy, and then the unit that I just picked up, Leona, is Academy plus Bodyguard. So the 3 of them are a nice combination because with Garen plus Blitz plus Leona, you get both Bodyguard and Protector in play at the same time. Garen, of course, is a 1-cost unit, so he generally is not going to stay in team comps for too long, but he's pretty good early frontline. Leona is a 3-cost unit, can stick around for a long time. And look at this, I get 1 at each of them. Right now, my bench is so full of pairs. I have 2 TFs, I have 2 Garens, I have 2 Blitzes, I have 2 Leonas, so I've got a whole bunch of pairs on my bench right now, but I don't really want to sell any of these units. I also have a Swain on my bench, who is only a 2-cost unit in this set. He's not a 5-cost unit, like he was in set 4.5. So I've got him on my bench, and the reason for that is I would go up to 4 Arcanists if I can get up to 4. You generally don't really want to go too far beyond 4 Arcanist, at least from the very early stuff that I've seen thus far, unless you can get like an hextech augment that gives you an additional Arcanist, or if you can get like an Arcanist spatula item. Is there one? I don't think there's an Arcanist spatula recipe. I think there's an Arcanist emblem that you can potentially get from like the hextech augment, that sort of thing. All right, anyway, so I get a bow from this minion round, and I really can't use bows in this comp. This is going to be a spellcasting comp, so bow is literally like the worst item for me in this comp. So because I have a giant's belt sitting there, I go ahead and make the Zerat portal, and I think this is the best way that I can make use of that particular bow. I feel like I'm a little weak on frontline because all my frontline are one star units. Actually, I have like all 1-star units except for TF. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been that strong is I've got all these 1-star units. I actually have a lot of traits in play. And remember, I'm trying to play a lot of traits because my hextech augment gives me 4 AD and 4 AP for every trait I have. So having 4 traits in play is pretty nice. That's 16 AD and 16 AP right now, which is, not nothing. It's like everybody gets a free BF sword and everybody gets a free rod just for having that on my team, and I'd like to get more traits in play as the game goes on. But here, can we take down this Swain? I need TF to get off one more wildcard. No. See, Swain heals when he uses his ultimate in this game. It's like he'll hit mauls, and yeah, not quite able to get that particular kill. So that's not quite enough to get it done. Here, though, I decided, oh, look at this. I find the Lux, and I was like, oh, hello. I will take that Lux. And now I was looking to sell the TF, but I was like, wait a minute. Or I can go to level 6 here, play 4 Arcanists, and I have to take something else out to put Swain in. So I was like, what's the weakest unit I have in here right now? And I decide that it's the 1-star Garen. So, I thought it was the Garen that I end up taking out the Garen. So that gets me up to 4 Arcanists. Of course, I lose 1 trait, but Garen is a 1-star 1-cost unit. So he is probably the unit that I least need. And Protector is not that great for me. So I'm going to stuff the Zerat portal on the Leona. Again, standard stuff, just tossing that on a frontline unit to provide a little bit more tankiness. But finding Lux at 5% odds is really nice. Now I just need to find one more Arcanist so I can sell TF and then move that Jeweled Gauntlet over to Lux. So let's talk a little bit about Lux, shall we? She's going to be the main carry for me, and she is generally going to be the main carry in any Arcanist team comp. Her traits are Arcanist plus Academy, so she can get ability power actually from both of those traits. But wait a minute, hold on. Let's look and see what my augment is here. So look, I've got these 3 options. I'm going to take your team counts as having 1 extra Socialite. And this is going to end up being really important in this game. So Socialite, what does this trait do? Well, hopefully I'm highlighting it. Socialite reveals Spotlight on the battlefield. The unit standing in the Spotlight at the start of combat gains bonuses, and then it's a scaling bonus as the game goes on. So where the spotlight pops up is random. Here I'm rolling to try to 2-star some more units, or just find another Arcanist. So here I actually do end up finding Ziggs. So I'm going to put Ziggs in, sell the TF, move that Jewel Gauntlet over to Lux, who's going to be my main carry. Socialite, anyway, so that finding that hextech augment that gave me 1 extra rank of Socialite, really, really nice. Because now I get another trait in play with my other augment that gives me, remember, 4 AD, 4 AP for every trait. This counts as another trait, so I get that in. And I was already planning on playing into Taric anyway, so that's going to allow me to play into more Socialite units. And in fact, this is really nice because there's only 3 Socialite units in the game. And one of the 3 Socialites is a Colossus that requires running, basically counts as 2 unit slots. So typically it's pretty difficult to run Socialite because you can't get the full 3 Socialite benefit unless you use up 4 slots on your team. 3 units and one of them counting as 2 unit slots for being a Colossus. But with having that free Socialite, they're called hearts in this game is the terminology they've used. But basically because I get a free rank of the Socialite trait, I'm going to be able to get Socialite 3 with only 2 units in the team. And that's going to be really, really nice long term. So that's one of the better things you can get out of the hextech augments. Obviously, if it fits your team. And there we go. I was looking at what the other person was running as well. All right, so we have another carousel here, and I'm actually looking to get the Brawler's Glove off carousel. I thought I had pretty good odds to get it, even though I'm 3rd to pick, just because Trundle is not a particularly expensive unit. He's a 2-cost unit. And I thought, oh, it's right here, but no. Someone else comes and get it. And I was like, that's a little bit disappointing. I want the Brawler's Glove so I can make an Infinity Edge on Lux, and then I'll have the Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet combo. I actually already tossed the sword on her because I was confident I'd be able to get a Brawler's Glove, and so now I'm a little bit more concerned about that. So I take the Rod because I'm playing an AP-based comp. Now, unfortunately, it makes Blitz 2-star, which is a little bit less great, but I'll make do with that. I can always... Blitz is not going to be in the comp forever. Eventually, I'll be able to find better frontliners than him. He's a 2-cost unit. Eventually, I'll be able to find better frontliners, and then I can look to sell him. Still, I don't think I ever really addressed what the Socialite Spotlight does, so I will just read the trait description right here. I'm looking at the cheat sheet on my screen. Socialite. Socialite reveals a spotlight on the battlefield. The unit standing in the spotlight at the start of combat gains unique bonuses. Socialite 1 is 20% bonus damage, which is nice. 20% bonus damage is good, but really scales up well as you get more ranks in the trait. So 20% bonus damage at rank 2, 5 mana per second. That's really nice for spellcasters. And then Socialite 3 also heal for 30% of all damage they deal. So it's almost like getting kind of like a Gunblade for free. So you can see that's really good if you can get 3 ranks in it. Now the downside is you don't control where that spotlight appears, as my past self again helpfully highlights the trait. You don't control where the spotlight appears, and it's in the 2nd rank, which is actually kind of bad for me, because I don't really want to put Lux in the spotlight, because she's really up. That would put her in a lot of danger. I don't really want her up there. So what I'm doing is I'm putting Vex in that spot. Vex is kind of like one of the very, very few tanks that you run in Arcanist team comp. Vex is Arcanist plus Yordle. So I'm going to put my tank items on Vex, and then I'm going to use Vex in the spotlight, because that'll allow Vex to cast more often. Vex produces a shield when Vex casts, and also do more damage, and then also heal for some of the damage dealt. And hopefully Vex will turn into like my one of my tanks, because again, one of the weaknesses of a spellcasting comp like Arcanist is your front line's pretty weak. All right, so I've actually gotten a 2nd Lux. I don't think I called that out on stream before. So I'm only 1 Lux away from Lux 2-star, which is really ridiculous because I'm only level 6. And yet I've already found, I only have 5% odds to get 4 cost units. And I've already found 2 Luxes. So that's a pretty good high roll right there. But I will take it. And like I said, maybe I'll get lucky and find another Lux here. But I'm getting fairly lucky so far in terms of what I've been finding. 4 Arcanists, 2 Scrap, 2 Academy, 2 Bodyguard, 1 Socialite. I should mention what Scrap does. Scrap is a trait that basically will turn a component into a completed item. Blitz, it basically picks out 1 random item that's a component and turns it into a completed item. At Scrap 4, it picks out 3 components and turns them into a random item. And then at Scrap 6, I believe it's all components get turned into final items. You also get a small shield on your Scrap units, but the main thing is turning the components into finished items. All right, so what do we have here? We've got a tier, and then we've got a a giant spell. So I'm going to go ahead and go to level 7. I'm going to play Taric, and now Taric gets me another rank of Socialite. Taric is also an enchanter, which will be useful for later on. Enchanters provide, I believe that the enchanter is the closest thing we have to Mystic in this particular set. Yes, enchanter units provide bonus magic resist and extra healing and shielding for your team. And those units are pretty good. It's a lot of utility units. Lulu, Taric, Janna, and Orianna. Basically all the champs I used to play as supports. I don't have any other enchanters in yet, but I'm planning on putting some in later on in the game. So very useful utility trait. Of course, not something you're going to base your main team composition around. And of course, by having Socialite at rank 2, we're going to get an additional level of that. So now Vex will be getting not just 20% extra damage, but also 5 mana per second. So Vex will cast significantly more often and keep getting those shields. And, we're looking pretty good here. I've been able to get on a nice win streak. And if I can win this one, I can get up to 40 gold again. And I'm feeling pretty good about the game right now. We actually deal this person their very first loss. They had not lost a round yet. NES Elias. So overall, looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident. If I can find 1 more Lux to get Lux 2-star, I think I'll be in great shape. While we have a down moment here, let me talk a little bit about Lux as a champ. I tried to do that earlier, and then there was lots of other stuff going on. So Lux is Arcanist plus Academy. She can get AP from both traits. Arcanist, of course, is Dusk from set 4, provides a team-wide benefit, and then at higher ranks provides additional AP to Arcanists themselves. And then Academy is her other trait, so she pairs really well with Leona, who's a frontliner, who provides the Academy trait. I'll just go ahead and read the description. Again, PBE, we're still super early in the set. Academy, academics have bonus attack damage and ability power, so similar to Forgotten from set 5. They also learn from their allies, gaining additional bonus whenever allies cast their abilities. So at rank 2, which is what I have right now, it's 20 AD and 20 AP, and then an additional 3 AD and AP every time allies cast their ability. So it's a stacking ability that goes on as the rounds continue. Lux's base damage is relatively low as far as 4-cost units go, but because she can get AP from Arcanist and AP from Academy, she scales really well with her traits. But like her base damage is not especially high. It's more you have to stack lots and lots of AP on her. And of course, Lux is pretty much the same as she was in set 2, for those who can remember back that far. She fires out a beam that just, big straight line skill shot. It's her ultimate from Standard League of Legends. And it refunds some mana if she kills a unit with it. Again, apologies that the video cuts out as my past self looks at the cheat sheet. Right now, she deals, it costs 60 mana to use her ability, and if she kills a unit with her ultimate, she gains 30 back. So that's a pretty big deal. So she's kind of like a reset-based champion in the sense that if she gets, a kill, then she'll get back 30 of her 60 mana, and then she can cast again. And if she can keep casting, she can keep killing things over and over and over again. But you can see what happens when she doesn't get a kill. In this round, we do not get a kill. She does not get a reset on her ultimate. And we spend the whole fight hitting a 3-star Poppy, which does not go very well for us, unfortunately. So I kill nothing and take like a bajillion damage because we got stuck on a 3-star Poppy with very tanky items. And that was not especially good. All right, so still, my win streak comes to an end. It's still been a nice run. I think I won 5 or 6 rounds in a row, which really helped me out to get past the early game where I had so many 1-star units, it wasn't too great. I am still looking for that Brawler's Glove because I would really like to make Infinity Edge. Unfortunately, I am last pick, so I'm just really hoping no one's going to take that Zac. Zac, not a super valuable champion to pick up. And oh, that one person's right next to the glove, but does not take it. And I've got my glove, so now I will have the Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet combination, which is just what I'm looking for. Obviously, these two items have great synergy. And it also makes it so that sword that I had is not going to go to waste. It's sitting on Lux. It might not. It wouldn't have gone to waste anyway. I did have a tier. My plan was if I couldn't get the Brawler's Glove, then I'd use the tier to make Spear of Shojin, which is not great on Lux. She doesn't really need Spear of Shojin, but it would not have been bad. It would have been okay. Still, the Infinity Edge is much better. Now she will always crit on her ultimate, and she will get the additional crit damage by virtue of the Infinity Edge increases how much damage your crits do. So I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm expecting to lose some more rounds here because I am not rolling. My plan was to go to level 8 and roll there. So because I haven't rolled in a while, I'm expecting that some of these other comps which have been rolling are probably going to be able to beat me here. Like this person is level 7 and has no gold. So I'm not surprised that I lose this round. They hit 3-star Twitch and they hit 3-star Singe. Now that would have been terrifying in set 2 when Singe was a 5-cost unit and Twitch was a 4-cost unit. But they're both 1-cost units here in set 6. So it's not as bad as it might look like. Still, that person's all in and they hit their units and they're running an assassin-based comp, which is not so great for me. All right, here is our final hextech augment of the game. And this is a gold one, so this is stronger. We had 2 silver ones. This is a gold one. And I'm looking at this, and I was like, ooh, wow, share the spotlight. Allies adjacent to a spotlight gain 75% of the benefit. And I was like, oh my goodness, this could not be better for me. So this is a case of getting an augment that synergized with what I already had. Remember, I already had the +1 rank of Socialite, a Socialite heart, as they call it here in set 6. I already had +1 rank in this trait for my previous hextech augment, but now I have the bonus spotlight, so everyone standing next to the spotlight also gets 75% of the benefit, and that's really, really good because I'm going to get 3 ranks in Socialite as soon as I can find the last Socialite, which is Seraphine. I'll be able to get the full Socialite benefit, Socialite 3, without having to play Galio, who's a legendary unit who eats up 2 slots. Normally, if you want Socialite 3, you have to play Galio, and he's a Colossus, so he eats up 2 slots. But no, I'll get the full benefit, Socialite 3, from just 2 units, and I'll get to splash that benefit onto 5 additional units as well. So this is an example of how some of the augments can synergize with each other, and there is a good amount of RNG in terms of how this works. You don't control what comes out of the augments. Obviously, sometimes you'll get stuff that's better than other times, but I do like the system overall. Like, I don't think it's going to be great for tournament play, for like super duper competitive, but for running lots and lots of games, it adds a lot of replayability because you're gonna have different games depending on what you get, and you're never going to get the same things game to game. So this was an example of a game of where I got 2 augments that synergized together, and like I was not planning on basing my team comp around the Socialite trait this much. Like you can see, I'm playing Arcanist here. That's kind of like my core thing is Arcanist. But now I've like kind of flexed into this big time socialite build because that's what my augments gave me, and it's proving to be super duper helpful for me. So I go ahead and go to level 8 here. That was my plan all along. Go to 8 on the minion round. And now, following the minion round, I'm going to roll down and see what I could hit. I really hope I can hit Lux 2. I also want to find Seraphine so I can get up to Socialite 3. I'm also hoping to find, I would like to find Janna and maybe Oriana. And I'd also like to replace Blitz. In particular, I want to find Blitz because I want to sell Blitz, get the needlessly large rod off him. I want to replace him with another bodyguard. And all right, so this is always tough. It's the beginning of the set. I don't know the units. I have to roll in. Oh, look at this. I found a Victor. He is the legendary Arcanist, so we'll get rid of Ziggs and just put Victor in there. That has to be better. A 1-cost unit for a 5-cost unit. And I find another Mauls, but I've already got Mauls 2-star, and I'm not trying to 3-star him. I figured I had enough to roll for. I wasn't going to try to invest in that. And then I find 2-star Tark. I was like, all right. And then I find 2-star Vex, and that's good. But I need something else to put in here. So I just randomly throw in Mundo, who does not fit this comp, at just like the last second. And so now I'm going to try to combine these items together. I'm going to turn my 2 Giant Spells into a Warbog, and Vex is going to be my tank. So I'm going to put this on Vex. I believe Vex's shield is based on max health. Let me just check real quick to make sure that that is actually the case. Where are you, Vex? Vex's shield is based on... no, it does not appear. Nope, it is not. It's just a flat amount. It is not based on percentage of max HP. But it's still not bad having that shield on Vex anyway. Just because Vex is going to get all the Arcanist benefits, and Vex is going to be the one in the spotlight, so we'll get those benefits as well. And there, aha, now I found Seraphine. So now we're going to have the full 3 Socialite benefit that's going to splash to everybody on my team. I have actually dropped playing some of these traits as I pick up more Luxes. I figured, I'll just pick up these extra Luxes, because why the heck not? Might as well. I'm seeing some other legendary units. What I'm not seeing is another bodyguard for frontline. And then I find another Victor and another Seraphine. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I find another Lux. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's 6 Luxes. We only need 3 more to get Lux 3-star. I might as well hold on to these. So I'm still waiting for another bodyguard to appear so I can sell Blitz and then move that rod over to Lux. That'll turn into the Archangel Staff, which has been reworked here in set 6. It's now a stacking item. It provides AP provides additional AP every 4 seconds. So the longer the fight goes on, the more AP it produces. That's clearly the best way I can use that. And by the way, Lux just did 13,000 damage. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Lux was just popping off in that fight, and she's still missing that last item slot. So, and then at this point, I was like, all right, there's a Blitz in this store. I'll just sell my 2-star Blitz, replace it with 1-star Blitz, and that'll allow me to move this rod over to Lux. So there we go. And at this point, I was thinking, should I just play Jace instead? Jace might be better, but then I was like, no. I do want the bodyguard in here. I think I will still play this. Also need to move Victor and Seraphine, who are just kind of like randomly over in the corner there. Not really doing anything. So there we go. Lux is now fully itemized. And I think this is my team. Now, I'm not playing that many traits, but I think that this is probably better. Like I have to play around the Socialite. I don't make as many traits, but like I've got these 2 hextech augments for the Socialite. That has to be my goal for this match. All right, so Lux is going to get off those ults. Remember, she's healing on every ult, but not quite able to finish things off. So we lost at this comp the last time we hit it. This is the Singe plus Twitch. But even though Lux has died, I still have enough, I think, to finish this off. Vex is doing a really nice job of tanking. And Malzahar actually did a ton of damage in this fight. Malz has a damage over time effect. He puts Malefic Visions on someone, which is a damage over time effect. And it's pretty similar to how Brand worked in set 5. Those who might be familiar with Brand. Brand's fireballs would burn people. Malzahar's ability burns people over time. The difference there is that Malz's visions will pass from unit to unit if he kills the target. All right, so I'm going to have last priority to pick here. But I actually, wait, there's only... No, never mind. I had a second pick. There's 5 of us left alive. I had second pick. So I go ahead and take the Bramble Vest. I think Bramble Vest will be really useful against these comps. I know there's some people running Assassins. We've seen that one Assassin-based comp before. So I think putting a Bramble Vest on Vex will be really, really helpful here. Because, the Bloodthirster is like a whatever item. That was just me making use of the components that were left. But I think Bramble Vest is going to be quite nice. And then now I can put in the Braum. Braum is a 4-cost bodyguard. He's much better than Blitzcrank. at this stage of the game. So at this point, I don't think I have a realistic chance to get to level 9. I would rather stay here and honestly see if I can roll for 3-star Lux. I was like, because yeah, I've got 7 Luxes. I'm just gonna stay here at level 8 and hope that I can hit the 3-star Lux. I only need to find 2 more, which I think is pretty doable overall. All right, so I'm up against this person, NES Allegory, and this person has a 2-star Kaisa. Kaisa's a legendary unit, but Lux is going to get the one-shot kill. Haha. Nice work, Lux. Gets that sniper shot, finishes off Kaisa, and that was good news because did not want Kaisa dashing around killing people. Kaisa's actually pretty similar to what she was like in set 1. So been a while since we've seen a legendary Kaisa, but she is a 5-cost unit in this set. And with that, I'm locked into a top 5, or top 4, excuse me. I mean, I was already locked into a top 5, but top 4 is what gains you LP when you're playing ranked, which this is not because this is PBE. And again, as usual, cautioning that all of these numbers are likely to change because this is very early on. This is not even on live yet. But I'm looking, by the way, I'm looking at this comp, Abdul Underwood, because I thought that I was guaranteed to hit this person's comp, but I wasn't entirely sure. And as it turns out, I didn't hit this person's comp. I hit a different person. I was wrong about who I was guaranteed to hit. And this is when I noticed that this person has a Zephyr, and they quite correctly pointed it at Lux, because Lux is my carry. So Lux gets off an ult that kills a decent portion of the team, but she does not get to cast a second time because she gets Zephyred out of the fight. And Vex is the only one left alive. Vex is pretty tanky, but obviously Vex is not going to survive against the entire enemy team. So I take a bad loss there and take quite a bit of damage. And there I was looking at some of the augments. That person, I believe, is running a Clockwork Challenger team comp, which is an attack damage based team comp. Attack speed, attack damage based comp. I believe that they're running Yone as their principal carry, but I'd have to double check on that. What are they running there? Transformer, Syndicate, Bodyguard. Okay, they kind of got a mix of different things in there right now. But we are down to the last 4 here. And unfortunately, I get a completely useless item from the dragon. This is a mutant spatula, which is not helpful for me. I am not going to get up to 3 mutants, not unless something else would drop. But I get something very good. I get a Nico, and I was like, oh, I just need to find 1 more Lux now. I was like, please show me 1 more Lux so I can get Lux 3-star here. I only need the 1 more Lux, and I think that Lux 3-star will be a win condition, especially with the items I have here. I was like, oh, come on, show me the Lux here. And I'm going to find the Braum, but no, that's not quite it. All right, come on. I mean, there's more Vexes, but I think I've got to save my money just to roll for the 3-star Lux. And no, I do not find it. I found about 1 billion Malzahars, so that's a thing. But no, I don't find the Lux. So I was like, ah, man. And then I'm just going to slap this on Victor because I believe it does provide, like, I think you get a small amount of AP or something. I think there's something very small that you get from having the mutant spatula on. Anyway, Lux is just destroying people. As long as Lux does not get Zephyred out at the start of the fight, I'm looking pretty good in these fights. But unfortunately, that there is a Bramble Vest, and she keeps targeting the unit with the Bramble Vest. Remember, Bramble Vests protect against crits, and I believe that includes spell crits as well. So with 2 units that have Bramble Vests, yeah, that fight doesn't go very well either. So even though I do a ton of damage, it's still not quite enough to break through that person who's win streaking. So, yep, Malzahar probably could have had Mal's 3-star. I do 2-star the Victor, and that's not bad. Victor is a legendary unit. He's a 5-cost unit. He's technically the top tier Arcanist, but because I don't have an itemized, he is not as important as Lux. At least now I do know who I'm guaranteed to hit. Because there's only 4 of us in the game, I am now guaranteed to hit Abdul Underwood because I hit Treely 2 rounds ago, I hit Elias 1 round ago, so I am now guaranteed to hit this other person. And indeed, it is Abdul Underwood. So I'm moving at the last second to try to dodge these Zephyrs. And in fact, I am able to dodge the Zephyr. Lux does not get hit. So I just need Lux to pop somebody. And oh, she kills Twitch instantly, so that's going to refund the mana. And then she kills everybody else. And we're left with only Singed alive on the other team. And yeah, I think she can handle that. So fortunately, I dodged the Zephyr, and that's enough to win that particular round. And everybody is still alive, by the way, so I can still finish 4th in this game. But again, I'm still hoping that to find Lux. And oh, there she is! There's the 3-star Lux. So just need to Nico that. I am going to Nico at the last second, just because... Sorry, this is recorded footage. Me twirling the Nico there out of excitement about hitting 3-star Lux. But I do want to make sure there are. I know that there's at least 2 Zephyrs on these other teams, so I'm just trying to dodge at like the last second. And they were going to Nico the Lux, and boom! I almost clicked it on Seraphine, which would have been incredibly sad, but no. I do place it correctly, and I do dodge the Zephyr. Now, you might see Lux is frozen in place. That is a trait called Enforcer that is going to take her out of the fight for the first couple seconds. But remember, Lux, not only does she refund mana on every spellcast, she also heals every time she casts by virtue of having Socialite 3 in. So she kind of refills her mana bar every time that she ults. And she just did 16,000 damage, even though she was Enforcered out of the start of the fight. So yeah, 3-star Lux, pretty good. She's a 4-cost unit and all that. All right, so I have my chance to pick here, and I decide, you know what, I'm going to take the Galio. He's a 5-cost unit. I want that Thief's Glove. There's nothing on here that's particularly useful. Now, yes, there is an Arcanist emblem item there, but what am I going to do with that? I can't really get up to... I can't get up to Arcanist 6. There's no way I'm going to be able to play another legendary unit, and there's nothing I would take out from this comp. I mean, I guess technically I could take out, like, I don't know, Leona to play another Arcanist, but I need those units for frontline. That doesn't feel worthwhile, so I have to just take the Thief's Glove. I wanted to put it on Victor. Unfortunately, now Victor has the stupid mutant thingy on him, so he can't use this, so I'm just going to have to put it on another unit, and I think I decided to put it on Malzahar just because he's another Arcanist, and he can make use of this item. And then at the last second, I just need to swap some of my units around in order to take advantage of, or in order to dodge any Zephyrs that might be out there. And I move up to the front line because I knew I was going to hit this person who was running the, he's got a 3-star Yone, which is pretty terrifying. Yone's a 4-cost unit as well. But I figured Lux would actually be safer on the front line because that way she'd be able to avoid any assassins dodging in it. Ooh, she got the 1-shot on the Yone, and now it's just a matter of finishing everything else off. And boom, 29,000 damage on Lux. Woohoo! Yeah, pretty tasty. Not too shabby. All right, anyway, so there are 2 Yumis here. Yumi's a legendary unit. I would love to put Yumi in this team because Yumi would give me another really useful utility unit. And she'd also give me another trait in the Cuddly trait, which is her unique trait. So as mentioned before, I'm not doing as good of a job of making use of the initial augment that's 4 AD, 4 AP per trait, but I just think this is the strongest board I can play. Oh, and by the way, Malz has rolled a Zephyr here, so I'm going to position that Zephyr to hit the Socialite Spotlight, which remember, Socialite Spotlight's the same position for everyone. It's always the same on everybody's board, so I knew that person was using Socialite themselves, so I position it to hit the Jinx that I know is going to be there, and boop! We're going to see Lux take out the Jinx. Jinx is a legendary unit, and going to get the 1-shot, and Zephyr plus 3-star Jinx, and or not 3-star Jinx, Zephyr plus 3-star Lux, more than enough to get this done and allow me to take first. And yeah, so this is a high roll to be sure, the 3-star Lux. Getting that Nico's help, obviously that made it a lot easier. I think I might have been able to win with the 2-star Lux. Maybe it would have been close, but I would have had probably a top 2 or top 3, even if I didn't take first. Well, anyway, this is an early sneak preview at set 6. I don't know how much time I'll spend or how many videos I'll do on set 6, but we will wait and find out. The augments are indeed fun. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are having a good week, and I will see you guys again soon. Take care.